So welcome to session 5, using Bootstrap for web application user interfaces. This session is on using images in Bootstrap. So last session was on text, this one on images. So, images, they are what they are, and there's not a lot that Bootstrap does with them other than, you can use the positioning framework for the grid on where to put them and all that kind of stuff. But pertaining to images themselves, the actual picture, there's only a couple of things that Bootstrap does. So one, you can change the shape that is the image is shown in. And then two, you can actually help continue the theme of responsiveness, or automatically adjusting to the size and type of device that the web page is being viewed on, by applying that to images as well for some auto sizing kinds of things. So the goal of this session is to learn the basics of using images with Bootstrap. So as I mentioned, there's really two things there. So Bootstrap can help you control the shape of the images. You can use rounded corners, you can use a thumbnail view, or you can show the image as a circle. And then Bootstrap can also help you resize the images to fit the screen, by using the image responsive class. So we will do we'll do the demo thing here. So between this session and last, I added an image to my project here that I'm working on in Visual Studio called image.jpg, and that's the one we'll be using. So essentially what I'm going to do is here's my web page. Here's the Bootstrap enablement, the meta tags and the links to the JavaScript and CSS file. Here's my container. I've got a row that's my hello world title. I've got a row that just has some white space. I've got a row that's divided into two columns. The first column takes up 2 columns of the Bootstrap grid, and it's my menu. And then the second column takes up 10 columns of the Bootstrap grid, and it's my sort of content of the web app. So what I'm going to do is let's add a paragraph tag here, and inside that paragraph tag, let's add an image tag, which of course is the HTML tag for incorporating images into your page. So I'm going to set the source of that equal to, and Visual Studio is smart and knows I only have one image in my page, and so it assumes I want to use that one. So there we go. And then because images don't need a closing tag, I'll do the auto close tag, the slash bracket rather than just bracket. Or so here's what our web page looked like, if you will recall. So I'm going to hit save here and then go refresh it, and boom, there's the image, right? It's this cool looking, Android computer human. I don't know what this is. Don't even remember where I got it from, but hey, there it is. So now we want to use Bootstrap to help us control this image, right? So the first thing I want to do is add the class in there to make it, we'll do the responsive first. So image-responsive. So we'll save it. I'm going to come back here, do a refresh, and because it's plenty big, it just stays where it is, right? But as I try to make it smaller, look, you can see that Bootstrap is trying to basically resize this image so it fits on my screen there. And so that's pretty cool, right? So I don't have to, in the old days, what we would have had to do was upload several versions of the image or rely on the browser to resize it for us, which, didn't always work exactly like we want. So what we're using here is JavaScript to help make sure the browser is helping us resize the image properly, right? So that's responsive. The next thing I want to do is let's go in here and let's add the rounded corners. Image-rounded. Let's save again, and I'll refresh it. And you can see that now the corners have been rounded off in here, right? So let's see it again. Let's take that off and save it, hit refresh. You can see I've got, it's normal corners there, right? What I want to do then is go back, Control Z, put the rounded corners on it, and boom, there we go, rounded corner, right? Pretty subtle change, but sometimes it helps, take off the jaggedness of the thing. The other thing that I can do here is I can go into what's called a circle view. So we'll do that with class image equals, if I could spell circle, there we go. Save, refresh, and there you go, right? So that's pretty cool. It took that square image and it made it into a round image, and because it's still responsive, it can adjust to my screen size. And again, if I were on a mobile phone, it would probably look about, let's say iPhone 7S Plus, it'd probably look something like that, right? So this is what the web page would look like on my iPhone 7 Plus. If I just had a 7, it might be something like that, right? If I had a Surface tablet, it would be something like that maybe. Or then if I turn my Surface tablet on its portrait mode, it would probably look something like this, right? And you can see Bootstrap is taking care of all that for us. So there's one more type I can do here, and that is thumbnail. Save there. I'll come back over here and do refresh. And you can see what it really did was put this little frame around it, right? So often what you'll see on web pages is if there's some images to show, a list of images, they'll have a smaller version of that image, and you click on it and you get the full image. Well, what thumbnail does is if you go, it'll put this little frame around it to help, when the images are sitting side by side in that list or whatever. And again, the responsiveness works as well. So pretty short lesson there, but that's kind of the deal with images in Bootstrap for demonstration. So our quiz. What are the two basic image features in Bootstrap? So one is the responsiveness of images so that it can auto-size them, and two is, show them in different shapes, of course. The second, what is the Bootstrap class that shows the image as a circle? Well, it's class equals circle. Actually, class equals img-circle. And then what's the class that rounds the corners of an image? Well, it's class equals img-rounded. And remember, you can use the img responsiveness and the img rounded in the same class. Just put a space between them. That's standard HTML5 stuff. So there's the answers to the quiz, and that's it. Again, pretty short lesson, but super important because images are a big part of web pages. So after this one, continue on with Module 6, and Module 6 will go into using panels to divide a web page up into sections.